Akademiks can't ride no wave.
Let's get into some reactions about it. I think I've given a lot of mine. Boosie watched it, and Boosie said this while watching the performance.
Who the fuck is this nigga?
I want to see Chris Brown.
Okay. That was his reaction to it. Mace said this.
To me, it looks like the NFL is getting worse each year in their performance. That's for me as a performer. Thinking of a performance, if I had a budget to do a Super Bowl, you could do a greater show. I just think of that. Like you said, I had the privilege of seeing Purple Rain. I had the privilege of seeing Michael Jackson, and I'm just a person for excellence. So I think Chris Brown is way overdue. I don't know how everybody feel about Chris Brown personally, but Chris Brown is way overdue. So when I look at the Super Bowl, I think the person who should be performing is the person that nobody is better than. And I could think of several artists that could have done a better job. But shout out to Bad Bunny and the entire Latin community. I would give this a 4. I would give it a 4. To me, it looks like the NFL is getting worse each year in their performance. That's for me as a performer. Thinking of a performance, if I had a budget to do a Super Bowl, you could do a greater show. I just think of that. Like you said, I had the privilege of seeing Purple Rain. I had the privilege of seeing Michael Jackson.
Another thing, and I understand Mace's point, and I don't want y'all to feel like I'm like, I don't want to be like the centrist that's kind of like, oh, I agree with everyone, because I like having a POV that's unique. I like the performance. I think the artist was the right one to pick. You have to pick a big artist at this point. But I also do understand what people are saying. If you're comparing it to Michael Jackson and Prince, you're looking for a performance that's bigger than life. The performance Bad Bunny did could have been an SNL performance, respectfully. And I'm not trying to diss. I'm trying to say it wasn't something that would wow an arena or a stadium. It was something that I think on TV, it was great, right? But I'm not too sure if everybody was in awe of what they saw there. When you compare it to Michael Jackson, people were in awe. Like, look, this is crazy. Prince, this is crazy. And that's the problem, right? It's still a situation. Nobody will ever be happy, but it is what it is.
And I'm just a person for excellence. So I think Chris Brown is way overdue. I don't know how everybody feel about Chris Brown personally, but Chris Brown is way overdue. So when I look at the Super Bowl, I think the person who should be performing is the person that nobody is better than. And I could think of several artists that could have done a better job. But shout out to Bad Bunny and the entire Latin community. I would give this a 4. I would give it a 4. To me, it looks like the NFL is getting worse.
Okay. There were a few other people. I'm trying to see if I could get some more breakdown in the sense of people who are giving their opinions about, yeah. Oh, well, I guess we could read what Trump said. Trump wasn't that fond of it, of course. He kind of lashed out. He posted via Truth Social. He said the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. Makes no sense. And it's an affront to the greatness of America. It doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, and excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. The dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting a new standard and records every single day. including the best stock market and 401ks in history. There's nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show. And watch, it will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't got a clue of what's going on in the real world. And by the way, the NFL should immediately replace its new ridiculous kickoff rule. Make America great again. President Donald J. Trump. So he was not a fan of that. I've seen a few other things kind of come from it, and we don't want to just kind of lag on here, but we want to go over just what people were feeling about the Super Bowl in general. Former NFL player DeSean Jackson tells Neon that Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance was trash. This is what he says.
Oh yeah, what you think about the halftime show? I fucking
Trash.
You like it?
I don't understand it.
Now, I want to give you some context. You see this guy right here? With all due respect, and I hope you don't get mad at me, but this is true. Actually, I'll play it afterwards.
Did you understand anything he said?
Nah, but like feeling the vibe and shit, like the production.
It was better than Kendrick Lamar last year.
Way better.
I think it was
better.
I like Bad Bunny more than Kendrick.
That's crazy. I don't know what
I
these
was at
dudes.
the Eagles Super Bowl.
I don't know what these dudes are.
We were all cheering.
chat.
No one was cheering.
What do y'all think, chat?
Now, he's going to say that because just search DeSean Jackson Crip walking, and you'll even see my page come up as the first result. DeSean Jackson last year, if you don't know, I think he's from California. He's definitely from California. He's a Crip, and his type of dancing is in salsa. There's no women needed for when he wants to get down. When he wants to get down, he puts on some Kung Fu Kenny, and it's very clear why this guy would not be liking something where you got to dance with women in a very sensual way. Women are throwing it back on you. He would rather Crip walk to not like us. I understand why, and I have no problem with him. He comes from a place that's built on gangbanging. I don't want to disrespect him or disrespect his gangbanging thing, but I do want to say to people like this from that part of the world that grow up thinking that throwing up some gang signs and twisting up your foot and looking macho with your shirt off is the way that how people could dance and express themselves, and that makes for either good music or good whatever. Please get a passport. Please, y'all gotta go over there to go to the islands. Maybe go to Brazil. Shit, go anywhere. You'll realize that there's nobody Crip walking outside of Compton. Okay, I'm sorry to tell y'all. Like, newsflash. You know what I mean? Like, yes, the guy who has 1 billion people loving him does not dance like this.
Black one.
Okay, y'all are indoctrinated with I don't want to speak bad about gang culture because they'll kill you over it. But y'all are indoctrinated with this type of culture that the music and the art that you appreciate is in this realm. And I'm not saying it's bad, but you should open your mind to understand why all over the world this was important. Respectfully, when Kendrick performed, it was only important to California, and it was only important to disrespecting Drake. When Bad Bunny performed, globally, people looked at this as a movement. As I said, there were women in clubs in New Jersey, people in the Bronx, in bodegas, and everywhere else having watch parties to watch this man perform because culturally, there was a synergy among whether Mexicans, I don't know if it's people from Uruguay, Costa Ricans, Panamanians, Peruvians, Chileans, Colombians, Brazilians, even though their language might not be Hispanic, but even Argentinians, Guatemala, all over the place. And really that's the thing. Okay. Dominican Republic, of course, Puerto Rico, Mexico, of course. So, sometimes we forget there's a bigger world out there. There's a bigger world than Compton, California. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Somebody said Dot isn't a Crip. I didn't say Kendrick's a Crip. I said that a part of what, Kendrick's music evokes is gang culture. It's the reason why California, when Kendrick brought everybody on stage, you say Kendrick's not a gang member. Okay, cool. But he brought together gang members on stage. He didn't bring together nerds on stage from California. He brought together gang members. Let's be very clear. So we get it. Gang culture is pervasive. It's cool. It's whatever in LA. But let's be honest. California, the biggest state, I think the most populated, but within the diaspora of the world, it is a minuscule thing that the culture does not go nowhere beyond there, okay? If you go to Puerto Rico and you start crip walking up in them clubs, they're going to look at you like, what the fuck are you doing? Okay? We just have to be honest about it. So I understand why he would say to Neon, of course this is not better than when we had the crip walking music. I want to crip walk. I want to take my shirt off, do this. I want to say Drake. I hear you like him. Yeah, I get it. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you can't shit on Bad Bunny.
You hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now.
Now, granted, I will say this, and I'm pretty sure he'll get this video and get mad at me and be like, yo, fuck Ek. It's a West Coast thing. But I'll say, yo, I always use you on the Eagles, nigga. That 99 speed, nigga. I used to just throw that shit over the top. He was a great receiver. I will say that. Okay, DeSean Jackson, former NFL player. But yeah, he's saying he doesn't like it, and by the way, I understand him not liking it.
Bad Bunny more than Kendrick.
That's crazy. I don't know what
I
these
was
dudes.
at the Eagles Super Bowl.
I don't know what these dudes are.
We were all cheering.
The chat.
No one was cheering.
What do y'all think, chat?
What they said?
They're saying yes, it was better.
This shit was better.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like it was just like
Bad Bunny was trying to make it a performance, and Kendrick tried to make it about the beef. I just wanted him to perform his song. You know what I'm saying?
What's your opinion, bro?
thoughts on. Oh yeah, we doing with the halftime show. I fuck.
Let me see what else was happening at this halftime show. Okay, well, Jake Paul crying. What's this? Travis Kelce's ex. Oh my God. Yo, why they got Ben Simmons doing commercials now? Is he not like, what happened to Ben Simmons? Yo, ever since he fucked Tinashe, man, Tinashe got a cursed box. Nobody ever fucked her and like did good in life. Like, it's just crazy. Let me see what else. I want to see what else. Oh, there's a guy running on the field. Look at this guy. I ain't gonna lie, this guy's fast as shit though. Okay. Drake lost. Let me see. Flight reacts. Okay. There's a bunch of other stuff happening. Let me see if we can find it. I don't know why I'm expecting Fearbuck to. Okay. So there was like this initiative to say, yo, we're going to boycott the NFL. And we're going to boycott the NFL and have our own shit. So like the people that support Charlie Kirk, he has his organization named Turning Point. They said, fuck the NFL for putting this guy on. And, it's kind of so funny. People can't be nuanced, right? Like, cool, yeah, I like Trump, whatever, but sure, I love Bad Bunny too. Like, apparently the people who either like Trump or are Republican, they can't like Bad Bunny because Bad Bunny has spoken out against ICE and he's not with the deportations, right? And those people said they were going to boycott the halftime show and have their own. And it was going to be done by TPUSA, which is Charlie Kirk organization. So they had Kid Rock perform. You know what I mean? Yo, there's this thing happening in America right now. I don't know if you guys care. I'm not getting into politics, but so you have white Americans who feel like they're dinosaurs, and this is like the last hurrah before they become extinct. The majority of people being born these days, the birth rate, the fertility rate of white Americans have declined. Also, more white Americans are also than ever are mating interracially. So now the newborn kids aren't even full white. So essentially what it is, there's a mass hysteria that white people are going to lose majority over America. I believe currently they're like 60%. We got Spanish people like 20. We got like black people like 14. And then we got the rest of everybody else like in the mix, right? And then you know how it goes. Like if you're mixed, you just kind of fall on the non-white place. So if you're mixed with Spanish and white, you're Spanish. If you're mixed with black and white, you're black. So white people, they're kind of starting to feel like, yo, we about to lose this shit. So there's a huge wing of like politics. Like, for example, Nick Fuentes and everybody, they're like, no, we got to keep America white. Like America was built for whiteness, right? And whether you want to call that racist or just call that survival, they've argued that it's not racist because they're like, if black people say, hey, you know, you should marry black or date black, nobody says that's racist. But if white people say that, that's racist. All right, whatever, cool. So white people are kind of feeling like a crunch. They feel like all the Hispanic people are coming over here and they're taking shit over, right? Which, by the way, shout out to my Hispanics. Just think about this. This goddamn country, as like, you know, a union, was formed by whites and niggas. And I'm saying that as black people. And Spanish people come over here, hopping a fence, digging a tunnel, overstaying their visa, on a boat, on a plane, on a spaceship, swimming. And somehow, 50 years later, there's more Spanish people. I think they're like 18 or 19%. There's more Spanish people than black people over here. So, you know, immigration, birth rates, and everything is happening. White people start feeling threatened. They're like, oh my God, like what's going on? Like, yo, you know, really the solution is y'all niggas start fucking and having kids if y'all want to keep a white majority. Otherwise, like, you know, as the trends is going to proceed, in about 150 years to 200 years, there will not be any more majority in the sense of white. There won't be any pure white majority on this country. What will that make it? It will probably be really like an amalgam and a mix of whatever is going to be, of mixed people. And obviously there's always going to be some issues of racism or colorism, but it's going to be very different than what we've learned or known America to be. There's some white people that are very terrified of that. So what happens is that there's like this new movement. They're like, yo, we're like all about America, right? And part of it is like, yo, fuck the other countries in the world. But part of it is kind of like, yo, we got to make sure white people, we good. It's like the last stance for white people. So now when it comes to shit like this, they're like, yo, we having like some guala, like non-English speaking. Because like, and Trump is kind of a little bit aligned with that. Because a nigga like Trump is like, this is how Trump is on. Because like, you know, whether it's the Proud Boys or whoever who fuck with him, they on some shit like, yeah, be like, let's get her done. Like, the halftime Super Bowl should be somebody from straight out of Mississippi, Alabama. You know, they want one of them motherfuckers. That time is dead and gone, gang. We gonna have Kendrick up there like throwing up gang signs. We gonna have some fucking, we gonna have Bad Bunny over here. Got like the little Spanish joint, like, you know, doing taxes. Yo, that's how it's going now. Like, we in a multicultural world. So now the white people, they trying to hold on to it. So now like TPUSA is starting to be like the last stance for the white people. And I don't have a problem with him. I'm just calling it out the spade of spade. So they're like, fuck Bad Bunny. Fuck him. He's not American. He's not American. He doesn't love us. Well, fuck him. Let's do our own halftime show. Bruv, they're going to do their own halftime show. They're going to do everything with like mad, like an old white person. You know what they think about? Be like, I'm proud to be an American. That's what they on, right? So TPUSA, while Bad Bunny is over there doing all of this shit, you know what I mean, got all the bitches there. They say they're going to do their own shit. They're going to do their own shit. Bro, they bring Kid Rock on this shit. This shit is hilarious. Watch this. So they told everybody, stop watching the Super Bowl and come watch this. This shit is...
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere. Till you can't.
Yo, they trying to hold on to that 1960s America. So that shit is dumb, bro. That shit is over. Yo, white chicks love fucking niggas more than black chicks love fucking niggas. It's over. Like, I gotta keep it a beat with y'all. But they're trying to hold on to it. Y'all gotta see some more of this shit. Yo, they told everybody, we're not supporting them illegal immigrants. ICE should be outside that stadium. We're Americans. Yo, you gotta see this. This is one clip of like the nigga performing. I'm like, bro, this is a bad look, bro.